Welcome to Module 2, the role of public administrations in e-waste management, part of the CircleWaste project, which supports the development of a circular economy in the Adriatic Ionian region. Effective e-waste management depends strongly on the role of public administrations. Authorities at European, national, and local levels are responsible for designing policies, enforcing legislation, organizing collection systems, monitoring compliance, and raising public awareness. Why public administrations matter? They play a central role in ensuring that e-waste legislation is not only adopted, but effectively implemented in practice. While the European Union sets the regulatory framework through the Waste Electrical and Electronic Equipment Directive, it is national, regional, and local authorities that translate these legal requirements into operational and functioning systems. In other words, European legislation provides the direction, but public administrations provide the structure, coordination, and enforcement necessary for the system to work. They are responsible for organizing collection networks, supervising compliance, allocating responsibilities among stakeholders, and ensuring that environmental standards are respected. Without strong public governance, collection targets cannot be achieved. Environmental protection standards could not be properly monitored, and cooperation between producers, waste operators, and citizens would lack coordination. E-waste management in the European Union operates through a structured system of multi-level governance. This means that responsibilities are distributed across different levels of authority, each playing a distinct but interconnected role. The EU establishes the overall legal framework, setting binding requirements such as collection targets, treatment standards, and reporting obligations. These common rules create a unified direction and ensure that all member states work toward shared environmental objectives. However, EU legislation does not function automatically. Member states are responsible for transposing the directive into national law, adapting it to their legal and administrative systems, and designating competent authorities to oversee implementation. This national level acts as the bridge between European policy and practical execution. At the regional and local level, public administrations organize and manage the concrete aspects of the system. They establish and maintain collection infrastructure, supervise waste operators, coordinate with producer responsibility organizations, and ensure that citizens have accessible and reliable collection points. This coordinated structure ensures harmonized implementation across member states. Under the Waste Electrical and Electronic Equipment Directive, member states are required to ensure the separate collection of e-waste. This means that electronic waste must be collected separately from regular municipal waste in order to prevent environmental harm and enable proper treatment. Public authorities are responsible for setting up accessible collection points and ensuring that e-waste is not mixed with municipal waste. This includes cooperation with retailer on take-back schemes. Separate collection is essential for preventing environmental contamination and enabling proper recycling. Public administrations play a big role in ensuring compliance with EU collection targets for e-waste. Their responsibility is not only to set up collection systems, but also to make sure that these systems actually deliver measurable results. Since 2019, member states have been required to achieve a collection rate of 65% of the average weight of electrical and electronic equipment placed on the market. Alternatively, they must collect 85% of the total e-waste generated. These targets are designed to ensure that the majority of electronic waste is properly captured within official systems, rather than ending up in landfills or informal channels. Monitoring these targets requires reliable data systems and coordinated reporting mechanisms between producers, waste operators, and national authorities. Without accurate data, it would be impossible to assess progress or identify gaps in performance. According to the Waste Electrical and Electronic Equipment Directive, member states are required to report detailed data on e-waste collection and treatment to the European Commission. This reporting obligation ensures transparency and allows for consistent evaluation across the European Union. National authorities gather relevant information from producers, producer responsibility organizations, and waste operators. The collected data is then verified and submitted to Eurostat, which compiles and analyses statistics at the EU level. Accurate monitoring is essential for evidence-based policymaking. It enables authorities to measure progress toward collection targets, compare performance among member states, and identify weaknesses within national systems. Without reliable data, effective governance and long-term improvement would not be possible. In addition to organizing collection systems and monitoring data, public administrations are responsible for ensuring compliance through inspections and enforcement measures. Legislation alone is not sufficient if it is not properly supervised and enforced in practice. The WEE directive requires member states to carry out appropriate inspections of producers and waste operators, as well as to prevent illegal shipments of e-waste, particularly exports outside the European Union. Such illegal activities often result in environmental damage and unsafe treatment practices. Effective enforcement not only protects the environment and public health, but also ensures fair competition within the recycling sector. By preventing non-compliant operators from gaining economic advantages, public authorities help maintain integrity and credibility within the e-waste management system. The WEE directive is built upon the principle of extended producer responsibility, commonly referred to as EPR. This principle shifts the financial responsibility for the collection and treatment of e-waste from public budgets to the producers who place electrical and electronic equipment on the market. In practice, this means that producers must finance collection systems, recycling processes, and proper treatment of discarded products. Public authorities, on the other hand, supervise compliance, monitor financial transparency, and authorize producer responsibility organizations that operate the system. This shared responsibility model ensures that environmental costs are internalized within the product lifecycle. By making producers financially accountable, EPR creates incentives for more sustainable product design, improved recyclability, and reduced environmental impact over time. Public administrations are also responsible for informing and educating citizens about the proper disposal of e-waste. Even the most well-designed collection systems cannot function effectively without active public participation. The directive requires member states to ensure that users are adequately informed about available collection systems and about the environmental impacts of improper disposal. This includes explaining why electronic waste should not be thrown away with household waste and how it can be safely returned into official recycling channels. Awareness campaigns, clear labeling systems, and educational initiatives therefore play a crucial role in increasing participation in formal collection schemes. By strengthening citizen engagement, public authorities contribute to higher collection rates and more sustainable waste management practices overall. Despite the existence of comprehensive regulatory frameworks, many member states still struggle to meet the required 65% collection target. This gap highlights the difference between legal objectives and practical implementation on the ground. According to data from the European Environment Agency, the overall EU collection rate in recent years has remained around 40%, which is significantly below the target. This indicates that a substantial share of electronic waste is still not captured by official collection systems. Public administrations face several interconnected challenges. Informal disposal practices, and illegal exports of e-waste reduce the amount of waste entering regulated systems. At the same time, financial constraints can weaken monitoring and enforcement efforts, as also the rapid growth in electronic equipment placed on the market. In conclusion, public administrations are essential for translating EU e-waste legislation into concrete action. Through organization, supervision, and enforcement, they ensure that e-waste management systems function effectively and environmental targets are achieved, As electronic waste continues to grow, effective governance and coordinated action play an important role in advancing sustainable e-waste management and contributing to the circular economy transition. Thank you for watching. Learn more about the CircleWaste project on our website, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for updates on circular economy and e-waste management.